outside. We're not blowing smoke here. It's all the real stories of Vancouver Island for you right here on the show on Shaw TV. My name is Matt Carter. Welcome to the program, episode number 153, the 17th episode of our 7th season of the program. Our musical guests are right in behind me right now. Nanaimo singer-songwriter Grant Richardson, who's fresh off a BC tour, and he's back in town to talk about life and, of course, his recent solo album called Hard Night. Not to be confused by some album called Hard Day's Night, which was done by some posers out of the UK. Anyways, we're going to hear 4 Grant songs and have a chat with him later on this hour. Now, I'm just going to park my usual joking nature here for a moment, as we actually have 2 very poignant and serious segments on today's show. Now, first, many of us know someone or someone close to us who have lost their lives to suicide. And for those of us who knew them, those of us still here on the planet, dealing with that loss and finding a place of healing can be incredibly difficult. Well, the Vancouver Island Crisis Society is a wonderful, valuable resource for assistance, and they are putting on an event in recognition of World Suicide Prevention Day and to help people heal together. The event is called Souls, Remembering Souls. We're going to find out the when and where and more in about 12 minutes. Obviously a very, very emotional topic, so it's going to be a very real segment and a very surreal segment at the same time. Another issue of concern, not only in Nanaimo but around the world, is casualties due to drug overdoses. And again, many of us may know someone or someone close to us who've lost their lives. International Overdose Awareness Day is coming up on August 31st, and we're going to meet a community group putting on an event in Nanaimo to address overdoses, how to support those who have lost loved ones, and also how to prevent overdoses in the first place. Now we're going to be bookending those segments and look at some arts and some sports, and on the sports side, the Canadian Mixed Pairs Lawn Bowling Championships is coming to Qualicum Beach in early September, hosted by the Qualicum Beach Lawn Bowling Club. As part of my research about this, I realized I know next to nothing about lawn bowling, so we're going to find out more about the sport, as well as the club, and as well as the event. And I do hope the event has, because we're going to have some beverages there, I hope they have both fruit punch and Hawaiian punch, because I consider myself someone really good at bowling with the punches. Bowling with the punches. All right, moving on. Also, the Nanaimo, there's the sad trombone in the background. The Nanaimo Theatre Group has actually just released info on their 2018-19 season, and I'm directing you to stick around to find out more about the season. I should ask, what does a theatre program and Wild West horses have in common? They both benefit from a stagecoach. Horses, they both benefit stagecoach. Anyways, we got to get going here on the show. So anyways, first off, as part of our recurring Seniors Connect series, we're going to find out about a Photovoice project. I'm going to let them tell the story, but I do shudder to think about the lack of focus I wouldn't have with camera training. So anyways, stay focused on us. It's the show right here on Shaw TV.
Thank you, Matt, for that picture-perfect introduction to the Seniors Connect segment here today on the show. As you know, Seniors Connect is a program in Nanaimo that focuses on reducing social isolation of older adults. Today, I have an opportunity to bring back someone who is no stranger to the Seniors Connect segment, Lynn Henshaw from Better Together Nanaimo, and Crystal Martin, one of the Photovoice participants. So welcome. And not sure if anybody can see, but you might see someone named Eli who might pop up once or twice on the set. So welcome. And Lynn, tell me a little bit about this exciting new project for Seniors Connect.
Sure. So this is a partnership between VIU's Digital Media Studies program, and it's being facilitated by Professor Brooke Pentecost, and she's got some students helping her as well on this. And the project isn't, it's based on projects that have happened before. And what it is it's really giving a voice. This is for seniors, 55 plus. They're gonna learn about photography, but they're also gonna go through the exercise of talking about barriers to social inclusion. They're gonna be talking about what does community mean to me. They're gonna be looking at what's important to them. So really who in their life makes a difference. And that sort of thing. And then in the end, there's going to be an exhibit, and it'll have captions and so on. And I have to say that I sat in on the first session and saw some of the photos, and I had chills running up my spine. It was really, really amazing.
Okay, so wonderful. So Crystal, tell me a little bit, how did you get involved with the Photovoice project?
Well, I had a rough emotional romantic relationship last year, and I realized that if loneliness was going to be my downfall, if I didn't get involved in the community pretty quick. So I came across the flyer for Seniors Connect at the farmers market, downtown farmers market, called up and signed up, and that was it.
Okay. So now when you set out to do this, the first, so each week has a theme.
That's
from
right.
what I understand, and your first week's session was about which topic?
It was about barriers, about what do barriers look like, what do they feel like.
Okay.
And for me, barriers have to do with health issues. I was mercury poisoned shortly after I bought my house. It was full of carpenter ants. The exterminator used mercuric chloride, which I didn't find out till 10 years later. And during that time, my father developed Alzheimer's. I ended up with high functioning autism, and one dog died of liver cancer, and my cat died of kidney failure. And I went to see Dr. Klein for chelation. I just got lucky.
Oh, wow, that's a tragic story. I'm sorry to hear that. But you're using the camera now to tell your story.
That's right.
And are you an experienced photographer, or?
No, not really. I've taken a few little camera courses at Malaspina before it became VIU. But most of my degree is involved in journalism and cultural and social anthropology.
Okay. Wow. Well, you sound quite experienced. So, Lynn, other people, other seniors and people in the community who are getting involved in the project, what sort of knowledge do they have to have? What kind of experience?
Varied. I had one gentleman phone me up and say, I've taken photographs, I use film, I've taken photographs for National Geographic back in my day. So
Oh, wow.
extraordinarily experienced, to
Okay.
folks who said, I don't even know how to operate a camera, and I really want to learn. And so the first two sessions, are actually around photography and learning how to frame a photo and some of the technical aspects of operating. The program actually loaned cameras out to those that didn't have it. So they got some Nikon Coolpix, which look a little bit like the camera that Crystal has there. And so, yeah, it's a varied group, and it was very popular. I have to say that we're hoping to actually have another one after this.
So tell me a little bit, what are some of the other themes that we're going to be, you'll be photographing?
Well, you want to talk a little bit about the community theme is next?
Yeah, this week was about community, and so what does your community look like? What does, my community.
Right.
What does it feel like? What barriers do you have to getting into that community? What does it feel like just to be a senior, that sort of thing? It's all around that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now, Lynn, where will we see some of these photos? Is the general public going to get an opportunity to see them, or what's going to happen?
Yeah, so the participants make the choice whether or not they want to share their photographs, but they'll basically be mounted. We're trying to figure out exactly how and the details, but they'll be captioned, mounted. And then on October 1st, there's, of course, there's this wonderful event happening at Beban Park, National Seniors Day event. And we're hoping to have some of the photographs ready then. And then throughout the month, which will be Seniors Month again, there's going to be some great opportunities. So the Seniors Connect website will have that information, and pretty excited about it.
And now, this class is currently full.
That's correct.
This Photovoice project, but you are anticipating maybe running it again. So if people want to be on a waiting list or to learn more or to get in touch with you, they contact you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Better Together
Nanaimo at gmail.com.
gmail.com.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, well, thank you so much, Crystal. I'm really excited. I can't wait to see copies of your exhibits at the Seniors Connect Expo on October the 1st. Lynn, as always, thank you so much for being here. Now I'm going to throw things back over to Grant Richardson, my apologies, and we're going to do something more than this.
Kiss a girl that I wasn't supposed to. She kissed me back and held her in my arms. Gonna work, it's too much going on. Thought that it'd be something more than this. Thought that it'd be something more than this. Sit on the couch drinking too much whiskey. Talking, don't agree on anything. Don't know what you're thinking of me. Wish that it was something more than this. Wish that it was something more than this. Fear is something you can't fake. But this time it'll have to wait. So wish that it was something more than this. Wish that it was something more than this. There's always something we can't say. It was a choice, but now it's too damn late. There was a chance there'd be hell to pay. Wish that it was something more than this. Wish that it was something more than this. Fear is something you can't fake. But this time it'll have to wait. So wish that it was something more than this. Wishing it was something more than this. Wish that it was something more than this.
Yes, that was a lovely melancholy melody by Grant, and it kind of sets the tone a bit for the discussion that I'm about to have with Matt Vinet, my work colleague. We both work at the Vancouver Island Crisis Society, and Matt is the coordinator for a number of years now for a very special event called Souls Remembering Souls. And our colleagues Lindsay Wells and Heather Owen first developed it, and you've kind of taken over after a number of years of their working on it. So please share with us, what is Souls Remembering Souls all about?
Well, it's our 12th annual event, and what it is, it's a gathering of people who may be survivors of suicide attempts, suicide loss, someone who's lost someone to suicide in their family or close friend, to really come together and connect, to feel kind of less alone with it. And as someone who, you know, has had a lot of suicide loss in my past, I know how important it is to, you know, feel like that there are other people around that know what you're going through. It's a very complex grieving process. So, yeah, like you said, Heather and Lindsay started it about 12 years ago, and it's gone through many different incarnations. The way I came to Souls Remembering Souls is I arrived one year at a place where I was kind of at a crossroads in my life, and in kind of a dark place. I'd recently lost my brother to suicide. And so I attended the event. I kind of asked what was going on, and they allowed me to kind of follow them around and check it out. And the next year I returned with my mom and brought a picture of my brother. And you know, I was like looking at the picture of my brother, visibly upset. And of course Heather approached me and asked if I was okay. We had a chat, and of course, being the shameless self-promoter that I am, I had one of my albums with me and gave it to her, you know,
Yeah.
told her I make hip hop music about struggle, resilience, and getting through tough times, and, you know, never thought anything of it, and thought, you know, they're probably just going to throw it away or whatever. But a few weeks later, I got a call from Heather saying that they would like me to attend one of their school programs and just talk to some of the youth, and basically sing some of my songs and just basically tell some of my story. And my story, unfortunately, included a lot about suicide. Lost both my father and brother, and two of my best friends to suicide. So unfortunately, I have a lot of experience with it. So that event, unbeknownst to me, kind of, you know, brought me into this world because, you know, I went into the school, talked to the kids, and as you know, our executive director, you know, saw potential in that, and we've, you know, talked to over 4,000 kids in the last, well, I've been here 4 years now. So it's kind of interesting because the event that brought me to the Crisis Society, Souls Remembering Souls, is an event that I now coordinate.
Yeah,
so
coming
for me,
around in a full circle. in a
yeah,
way,
it's kind
right?
of really a full circle moment for me, and really important for me to keep the events, you know, going and keep it, because I know how important it was to me, and I know what it did for me and my mom at the time, and I know what it's done for my friends that have, you know, attended.
Also dealt with suicide loss.
Absolutely, yeah. And anyone that's struggled with thoughts of suicide or you know, had a loss to suicide, it doesn't make anyone weird, you know, like a lot of people go through that. We get overwhelmed, we're human beings. And it's just letting people know that, you know, it's something that needs to be talked about, because when we're talking about it, when we're gathering, when we're bringing it to the forefront, that's when it can, you know, start.
The healing can start.
The healing can start,
right?
yeah.
And so to get to the event that's coming up, we have a number of people that return every year to help you present this, and that includes, like, we can look at some photos while we're talking. People like Raymond Salgado is going to be singing again, and he's a beautiful soul singer.
Of course, Raymond, yeah.
And tell us more about some of the other presenters.
So we've got Yona Christensen. You know,
Yes.
she does a number of youth programs related to music in the community. She has her 2018 Nanaimo Idol winner, Ellie Barnhart, is going to be performing with us. Of course, we're going to have our good friend Patrick Alec from Nanaimo First Nation and Penelica Tribes doing our opening and closing ceremonies.
And I think there's going to be another performer there.
There might be. I'm not sure who else.
It's going to be a surreal experience.
A very
right?
surreal experience for everyone involved. Yeah, we'll throw that back to Matt Carter. But yeah, I will be performing a couple of songs there as well, as I normally do. And I do that not to toot my own horn, but kind of to try and bring more people that maybe just like my music, but really get the message and really get the connection
to know
from
that
the
they're
event.
not alone in this.
Absolutely.
Right? That they can find some supports in the community.
Yeah.
And that's what the Vancouver Island Crisis line and text and chat do as well, is they help support people in grief.
Absolutely. Like I'm not just in the schools. I'm not just doing this. You know, we work on the crisis line as well. So it's very important to let people that attend the event know what connections are out there and what supports are available for them.
And while we're wrapping up here, we're going to have that poster roll by that gives all this information as well, and a chance for people to go on the website at vicrisis.ca if they need to look it up that way.
Beautifully co-created poster by the lovely Joanne Hogan. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And just wanted to mention as well that it's on September 9.
September
at
9th,
Maffeo
Sunday.
Sutton
Yeah.
from 4 to 6:30 p.m.
Yeah, and it's a free event, so anyone that wants to attend, anyone that wants to, you know, find out more, can contact me or the Vancouver Island Crisis Society. And I'm really looking forward to this year's event. We're doing it outside at the gazebo again, so it's always a really good gathering, and you know, you really get that feeling of support when you're there. So.
And in closing, just wanted to mention as well that there's a tradition of people being invited to bring a pair of shoes or a pair of socks. That's why Souls is spelled S-O-L-E-S.
That's right. It's
And
literally
those shoes are and other items are donated to charity afterwards, and they're to represent the memory of the lost loved one.
Absolutely. But yeah, a brand new pair of shoes or socks in honor of your lost loved one. And yeah, we donate them to, you know, the homeless outreach teams, the Nanaimo First Nations youth programs, and it's really been a great event. We've gotten, I've seen a lot of people, you know, wearing the shoes from our event, so that's really good to know that people are, you know, not only remembering their loved ones, but helping out the community as well.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So thank you so much, Matt, for sitting down and providing all that information.
Yeah.
And now I would like
here.
to bring on another subject of rather serious topic. Cathy is going to be at the helm discussing the second annual International Overdose Awareness Day.
Thanks, Joanne. Thanks, Matt. I am really, really glad to have been able to sit and listen to that conversation. It's a tough conversation for so many people. And not only is it difficult for those around us when someone commits suicide, but there's another kind of difficulty that happens when that suicide may be a part of an overdose. International Overdose Awareness Day is coming up, and to talk about it is two very well-known guests to our stage. Tanya Hiltz is with us, and Andrew Holmesy, and I got it right. Welcome to the show. Glad you're here. Tell us, Andrew, what is International Overdose Awareness Day all about?
Well, I would like to say that it's an initiative by the Wisteria Community Association, which is a tiny organization that is doing big things in Nanaimo.
Huge things in Nanaimo.
Yes, and so this is a local initiative, and it's an event that's going to be on Friday, August 31st at Maffeo Sutton Park at 1 o'clock, and we have a wide array of speakers that are going to talk as experts from the medical community, and there will also be people that have personal experiences with this,
Right.
and it's really to make people aware that this is a social problem and it needs to be addressed.
Yes, it really
it's
does.
Very, very, very deep. And I would like to say that with the Wisteria Community Association, it's an organization that is run by Tanya Hiltz and her husband Doug. Doug Hiltz, these are people with their feet on the ground, literally 24/7, and tremendous amounts of energy.
They really do.
That they're bringing forth here. Yes.
And I've gotten to know Tanya and Doug pretty good, actually, in the last little while. Tanya, the stuff that you're doing right now in Wisteria Community Association is absolutely incredible. But before we go into that, I really kind of want to talk a little bit about what got you involved in International Overdose Awareness Day.
I'm going to step back because we actually did a memorial tree at our very first summer fling. This is where we actually branched into International Overdose Awareness.
Yes.
The very first lady, Dallas, will be back this year to speak, but we're carrying on a little bit different. We have decided that each person, if you're new, that have just lost a loved one, you need support. So the girls that spoke last year are going to be standing beside, as we would say, the newcomers that have just lost a husband or a child, to give them the strength and the support.
I think that when we talk about overdose, it has such a stigma in society. And I think the concept behind these kinds of initiatives is really to break that stigma, because at any given day, any one of us could find ourselves in a situation where we commit suicide, or we have an altercation or a problem with a drug, something that takes us down that wrong path. And so to break that stigmatism is also important. How do you find that this initiative helps our community? We've got some pretty impressive speakers. You know, Dr. Paul Hasselbeck, Bill McKay will be there, Harris House Health Clinic, Lolly from the Nanaimo First Nations territory. These are some of the people that are going to be there. But what do we hope that this will create in the community?
Awareness.
Yeah.
My point, I will put it this way. If we can help reach one person on that given day, we may be able to save one person and just continue it on. It's like with our group, it's community helping community. This is why we do it.
It is why you do it. And not only do you do this, but very important work with the Stone Soup Initiative. Now, I know I was told today, although honestly it feels like so much longer, it's only been 6 months to the middle of this September where the Stone Soup Initiative has begun. Congratulations on the great work that you do. I understand we're talking about like 150, 190, 170 people every night
Oh yes, and people can show up and they can get a meal starting at 6 o'clock in the evening, and there there's no judgment.
Nope.
It's actually it's a very pleasant environment, although with the smoke in the air these days it makes it a little bit more difficult for some people. But you need to have some food in your stomach.
Yes. It's a
And
basic human right to have food and shelter and a comfortable place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. And the community has really stepped up, Tanya, haven't they?
Yes, they have. They've actually followed through with the reason we call it Stone Soup. I know this is Cathy's name
it
too.
is.
It's, the whole idea of Stone Soup is you give what you have.
Yes.
It's not expecting somebody to give you $1 million.
Yeah, it's not a handout, it's a
Yeah,
hand
hand
up.
up.
A very different situation. Thank you both for coming. It's always a pleasure to have you, and our time always runs out far too fast. Having said that, music sometimes lightens the heavy subject. And so next up, we are going to Matt Carter with Grant Richardson to have a conversation about why he makes his tunes so fabulous.
Great stuff, Cathy. Thank you very much. And thanks, Tanya and Andrew, for being on the show as well. Speaking of music, it's been actually quite the roster of musicians on the program so far, if they haven't played. Andrew, we just met there, an incredible band leader, composer, arranger of Matt Surreal Dene, a great hip-hop artist. One of our cameramen, Howie, a two-time national karaoke champion. So adding to that now, very happy to introduce our musical guest for the show, and then I'm a singer-songwriter, Grant Richardson. Grant, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me.
Very stoked to have you. And I got it for full transparency's sake. The last time we were in the same place was our good buddy Mike Sherritt's stag party.
Yeah, that was interesting last weekend.
Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you about is we were also part of a golf trio there, and you were hitting 250-yard bombs off the tee. I was hitting 20-yard torpedoes. So was a golf career ever in the cards instead of music?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm that good. I can look good around people who've never played before, I guess, but but I certainly not an expert.
Well, again, based on the songs, music heard already, pretty good choice, but you're going to hear more later, so I'm really stoked for it. But I mentioned also off the top, you just did a BC tour recently with the aforementioned Mike Sherritt. So what is it like touring around the province?
It was great. That was sort of my first real tour, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Probably hurt myself a little bit with the beer. Probably got a little too excited about that, but
That was good beer in the province.
it was. Yeah, it was great. So. But yeah, I did about 10 days through BC, went as far as Fernie, and then came back, did a few gigs back on the island, and that was a great experience. It was
Any
really
particular venue or community highlights on that trip?
Oh, I think some of the smaller towns actually had some of the greatest crowds. I thought Caslow, there's a little place there called the Bluebell. That was amazing crowd, great people over there. Nelson was really fun. A lot of it just depends on the people, and when you have a great crowd and really receptive audience, it makes it easy.
Yeah, you just mentioned, of course, your first first tour. Was it what you expected, or not at all what you expected?
Yeah, I guess it had a little bit of both. Some gigs are better than others. Some are more fruitful. But yeah, it was. I didn't quite know what to expect, but yeah, it was a great time.
Mm-hmm. What are two singer-songwriters you and Mike talk about in those long drives to communities?
Oh well. We kind of had different interests. So he's probably talking about Dave Matthews and John Mayer, and I'd probably be more looking at like Chris Stapleton and he's sort of the main guy I'm listening to right now.
I was actually going to ask you because I know compared to a lot of the singer-songwriter guests we have here on the show, you've got a little more country western to your sound.
A little bit, yeah.
So I was going to ask sort of what are the influences there that's sort
It's
of brought
funny.
that out?
It kind of happened by accident because I never was a big country music fan growing up, and I just sort of recently got into it, and everyone used to make fun of me that I sounded country, and then then I kind of I started listening to it more and more and loving the stories of the music, and now I'm right into it and embracing that's what I sound like. So
well, it's one of those things, right? It's like we don't choose the genre, or we don't
exactly,
choose the instrument. The instrument chooses us.
3 chords and the truth, man.
Yeah. I love it. Speaking of which, actually, I do want to ask, I don't know, Doug, if you can see this guitar down here, so I'm going to get a shot of this. A different beast than what you were playing earlier on, the classic acoustic guitar. So let our viewers know, what is this particular guitar here?
This is, the guy who invented them was named Weisenborn, so they're often called a Weisenborn guitar, sometimes a Hawaiian guitar or acoustic lap steel. I just love the sound of it, and saw a couple artists playing it and had to pick one up. So I've been playing. I've only been playing it for a couple years now, but I love the sound of it. You see guys like Ben Harper and stuff playing these a lot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, you just play it with a slide and
nice.
Yeah, it's a cool sound.
I know we're going to hear that in the next song coming up in a few minutes here. But I do want to talk about, talk about your first tour. You recently released a solo album not all that long ago called Hard Night. So tell us a little bit about that project.
Yeah, so that one, it was a couple of years in the making, really. I recorded it at a studio out in Cedar in an old kind of stone building that was really, really neat with a guy named Todd Dunsmore.
Isn't it like a repurposed church or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. That's what it looks like. Yeah. So recorded out there. There's eight songs on the album, and had all my friends and family feature on it too. I even had my brother send me a keyboard track from Scotland to put on a song, and so trying to include everyone that I cared about on there, and it's it was a great process. It was really fun, a little country-ish folky vibe on it, and
I love that idea though, because the fact you can send a track digitally overseas.
Yeah, that
on
was
what
cool.
is sort of a root-sounding record.
Yeah,
that's I guess the way things are often done these days. So.
Yeah, and I mean our family was so musical and grew up playing together, and I wanted him to be a part of it too. So, that was really cool. Give
a good shout out to what are the sort of music backgrounds of your family then, real quick.
Well, my brother is actually he played piano and trombone, and now he actually does a lot of like musical theater and stuff like that. My mom always sang in a choir. My dad played some music when he was younger, but he was more of the observer. But every time we get together at Christmas time, we're always singing and harmonizing together, and so it's really
very cool.
It was a great place to grow up.
Immersed in it. Awesome. All right, so we're going to get to the sound here with the Weizenborn, which sounds like a German beer to me. But before we do that, real quick, shows coming up for you. I gather a couple of shows in September in Courtenay and Tofino, correct?
Yeah. So we just got back from this tour, so I'm currently booking gigs right now. So, but if anyone's interested, grantrmusic.com. I have a tour button on there. You can always check out my future dates. So.
Perfect. Awesome. All right. So thanks so much, Grant, for joining us here on the show. Go back to the music. And again, the title track off of his album called Hard Night. It's Grant Richardson for you on the show here on Shaw TV.
What do I do when they? What do I do with something new? She walks a lonely road tonight, all dressed in black. What do I do with the laughter? What do I do with you? Can't laugh into the wind on your own. 'Cause I felt love, felt pain. I've had a hard night, I've had an easy game. I've had hope, I've had desire, I'm still the same. Only wish that I could see you again. what do I do with your home? It's not on our street anymore. Can't stop the sun from shining, the waves crashing down. 'Cause I felt love, felt pain. I've had a hard night, I've had an easy game. I've had hope, I've had desire. I'm still the same. Only wish that I could see you again, but you're dancing in the stars tonight. I can be your window and your eyes in the night. I felt love, I felt pain. I've had a hard night, I've had an easy game. I've had hope, I've had desire. I'm still the same. Only wish that I could see you again.
Thank you, Grant. The sound of a steel guitar steals my heart. It is amazing. But there's all kinds of talent here in Nanaimo, and there have been a lot of very talented people who have trod the boards at the Nanaimo Theatre Group. Today, my guest is Sheila Coltish from the Nanaimo Theatre Group, and she's here to tell us all about the upcoming 2018-2019 season. Welcome, Sheila.
Thank you. Thanks for the invitation.
So, Nanaimo Theatre Group, 57 years in Nanaimo. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's a long time, and it started very simply with a couple, Roger and Barbara Dupre, who are actually still members of the group 57 years later. Yeah, they put an ad in the local paper, which was the Daily Free Press, I guess, at the time, and asked if anybody was interested in forming a group. So the group was formed, and it muddled along for quite a long time. And I think the secret, or maybe the thing that has made it be able to continue for such a long time, is the fact that we have our own building. We were lucky enough to purchase this little shack on an acre of land in 1970.
I believe we actually have a shot of that building.
Well, that would be lovely. You can,
and
yeah.
yeah, so what year did they buy the building?
It was in late 1970s, okay. But the building had no toilets, no heat, a leaky roof. And if anybody, well, I know many people have been to our theatre in the last few years and can see what we have managed to achieve in that time.
So I guess I'm thinking back then, an acre of land, there wasn't much around you. Now, where is the location of the Nanaimo Theatre Group?
It's on Rosstown Road.
Rosstown Road. So it's quite built up now, then, I can imagine.
It is, yeah. But the acre of land was just raw land. Now we have a paved parking lot. I mean, having an acre is great. And so, yeah, the main thing I think is that we had our own home. We couldn't use it as a theatre for a long time. We were all over the place. We were at Woodland School, the basement of Malaspina Hotel, the public library, Wellington School, just anywhere, Malaspina Hotel, I said that. Yeah, we were, wherever we could put on a show, we did, until we could finally use it in about 1975.
Wow.
And
how big is your theater? How many people?
It seats 172.
Okay, so nice and personal.
Very personal. It's a lovely space. It's the seats are well raked so everybody can see. We have up to the minute lighting and sound and hearing assist. So
what year did you start being involved with the theater?
Myself?
Yes.
I came to Canada and to Nanaimo in 1965, and I started with them in 1966.
And what were you doing? What capacity?
I was an actor in those days. Well, I guess I'm still an actor, but now I like to be a director mostly.
Okay, so you've done a lot of things at the theater?
Yeah, in the beginning there was we had a very small group. Now we're about 150 to 170, fluctuates. Wow. But in those days, maybe 30, 40 people. So we did everything. Okay. You know, we cleaned the place, we painted it, we built sets. Because putting on a play is a huge production. Right. Not only the actors, but all the backstage people, lighting, sound, set construction, costumes, makeup, hair, publicity, running the place, maintenance. So it's truly a group effort.
Absolutely. There's a lot of people involved putting on a production. Now, I know you have 4 plays coming up for the 2018-2019 season.
Right.
The first play coming up is Murder in Green Meadows. Tell me a little bit about it.
Okay, so it's a thriller. It's a thriller, mystery. I'm going to read a little bit about it because I don't know it that well. We actually did this play 25 years ago, so it's being repeated. It's Green Meadows is a suburb, and it's a new subdivision. The man who designed and built this subdivision has moved into one of the homes, and there they meet neighbors, and friendships start, and more than friendships. And it's what follows is a diabolical plot of a murder and lies and intrigue. And I really can't say much more about it because it would spoil it.
All right. Now, the Christmas play, the pantomime, Robin Hood and His Very Merry Men. So you had to give me an idea of what a pantomime was. Very quickly, if you could just share with us, they're talking in this play, right?
Oh yes, of course. Pantomime is a very British tradition. I grew up with it. It was the Christmas special thing to do with one's family. And so definitely there is talking in it. There's a full script. Okay. And people often confuse the word, the mime at the end of the word, with the silent movies or plays. So it's family fun entertainment, it's dance, it's music, it's singing, it's slapstick comedy, audience participation, and we sell tickets, we sell out by November.
Now, we have to wrap up. The last 2 plays, Self-Help, which you're directing, is the third, and the final play is The Diary of Anne Frank. So
right.
A wonderful lineup for anyone who's interested. Make sure you head over to the Nanaimo Theatre Group.ca's website and find out how you can get tickets. And now I am going to be throwing things back over to Grant Richardson, who is going to perform Waiting.
I've been sitting there thinking, I've been sitting there thinking of you, and I keep sitting there waiting. I keep sitting there waiting for you to come back to me. I've been standing there singing, I've been standing there singing to you, and I keep standing there waiting. I keep standing there waiting for you to come back to me. I got a feeling that I love you and I just wanna be free. I got a feeling that I love you and I just want you with me. 'Cause I know I can't be with you till the end as a friend. And I can't come back to me. I keep hoping and praying, keep on hoping and praying that you see me sitting there waiting, see me sitting there waiting for you. Come back to me. Got a feeling that I love you and I just wanna be free. Got a feeling that I love you and I just want you for me. Cause I know I can't be with you till the end as a friend. And I can't live without you in my life, baby. Got a feeling that I love you and just wanna be free. Got a feeling that you love me, darling, come with me. Got a feeling that you love me, so baby, come and see.
All right, golf claps, not only for a great golfer, a great musician as well. Grant Richardson here on the show on Shaw TV, the song called Waiting. Grant's actually going to be back in about 10 minutes with one more song, so I guess he's actually waiting right about now, and we'll wait around for him. But first, I'm a sports fan, and I want to learn more about a sport right now. I've never played, and I'd like to know more because there's a Canadian championship coming to this part of the world. So to help me out to know more about the sport and to tell us about the championship, I'm very happy to welcome from the Qualicum Beach Lawn Bowling Club, National Committee Chair for the tournament, Lynn Schwartacki. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Very happy to have you here. So first off, let's talk about your involvement in lawn bowling. Read online, you're a past president of the club and also involved with a provincial organization as well. So yeah, tell us about how you got into lawn bowling and where you are today.
Well, I've been involved in lawn bowling for about 20 years now. Originated in Winnipeg, then moved to the wonderful Rocks, so I've been very happy here. Was past president of Qualicum Beach and presently the director of administration for Bulls British Columbia, which is the provincial organization, and the chair of the National Mixed Pairs Competition, which is being held September 11th through 15th at Qualicum Beach.
And what does it mean to the club to be able to host a national championship?
It's actually a very big feather in one's cap because not every club has the opportunity to host a national. So this is the high-end bowlers from across Canada. So we hope to showcase our club. We are one of 2 clubs in the North America that has a indoor facility as well. The only other indoor facility is in Vancouver at Pacific Indoor. So we hope to showcase our wonderful greens, our island hospitality, and most of all, our volunteers.
So actually, just really quick, do you actually need any more volunteers for the
Definitely. Anybody can get a hold of us at the QualicumBeachLawnBowlingClub.com and give us your name and we'll gladly take you on board.
I know we were speaking before coming on the program here about that there is a very strong lawn bowling sort of culture community here, not only in Qualicum Beach, but we've talked about the Nanaimo Club as well. So again, I would imagine for the tournament for community lawn bowlers to come and check out this level competition, again, a real feather in the cap for the club and for this area of the island.
Yes, and in fact to bring some inclusivity, we belong to the North Island Powell River District. We've asked every club president to come to the opening ceremonies, which are at 5 on the Tuesday, and carry one of the provincial flags.
Oh, nice.
So that will give us involvement from across the board. And of course, every spectator. It's very vibrant volunteerism, and many lawn bowlers in this area that relish coming out to watching such high performance.
Yeah. And so what is the main difference between, say, these athletes that'll be here at the national level compared to, say, someone who just bowls casually on a weekend or something like that?
Well, most of these individuals are higher end athletes who really find competitiveness a very integral part of their being. So this level is more of the elite. They have coaching, they practice a lot more. And when you get down to this level, I mean, it's still about camaraderie and fair play, but it's still about winning.
Yeah.
So.
And then one of the interesting thing too, we were talking about coming on the show, sort of the perception maybe that lawn bowling is sort of a seniors game or something like that. But I know you mentioned in the club some quite young folks involved.
Yeah, we have some 2 12-year-olds. There's a vibrant junior program across the province. Recently in Winnipeg, we held the national juniors. So they're under 25 and then under 18, and 3 of the winners were from British Columbia. So I would really like to promote the sport, just not as a senior sport. It's a healthy lifestyle choice and fair play, and anything that will bring people out. And no, we don't need to wear white all the time. Which is my bugbear.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I know I'd spill fruit punch all over myself anyhow. So now let's get right into the sport itself, because I mentioned I don't know much about it. But what I've gathered is the game has actually not very much in common with sort of classic bowling, alley bowling, but much more similar to bocce or curling in terms of the gameplay and strategy.
Yes, it's all about strategy. Our bowls are not called balls, they're called bowls. They are weighted and they are not round. So when you hold your bowl, there's a little symbol and a large symbol on either side of the bowl. So it's weighted. So when you roll the bowl, it will go either backhand or a forehand. So the skip will tell you which shot that they want you to make. So you have to. It never will roll straight. It always has a big curve. So.
Yeah, it's sort of almost like an in-turn or out-turn in curling.
As in curling,
to get
yes.
the weight and.
But the thing is, our point of reference, which is called the jack, which is the little white thing that we chase, is movable. So it's not stagnant, never stays in one place. So you can have all your strategy, and then all of a sudden the little white ball moves, and all your strategy has gone down the drain, so you have to start all over again.
Another reason why, again, this is a sport that works for all ages, not just throwing the bowls down as hard as you can. It's about placement, blocking, all that sort of stuff.
Yes, it's about draw weight, take out weight, guarding, protecting what point you have or what points you have, trying to figure out what are the attributes of your opponent, is like in any sport.
Perfect. All right, and we're going to get to see some of the best across the country again here in Qualicum Beach. Coming up again, the 2018 Canadian National Mixed Pairs Lawn Bowling Championship. Correct me if I'm wrong, September 11th to 15th, again at the Qualicum Beach Lawn Bowling Club at 665 Jones Street.
Correct.
And I understand it's also free for spectators to check it out.
Free for all. We welcome all the community to come on out. I know all of my compadres and competitors will be there to watch. Members from South Island are also coming, and some of the members from the mainland will be visiting as well.
Perfect. Great to bring those folks to Qualicum Beach. Again, Lynn Schwartacki, National Committee Chair for the National Mixed Pairs Lawn Bowling Championship. Thanks again for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely great. All right, so I'm going to get up off my chair here, throw my notes down, and there's Doug over there. A couple quick things to mention, just about ready to wrap up the show, but I want to give a quick shout out right now. The 50-year reunion is coming up for the Nanaimo and District Secondary School grad class of 1968. Yes, 50-year reunion. That's taking place at the Coast Bastion on Saturday, September 8th. It's actually a meet and greet, dinner and dance. And one of the notes passed on to me was that the music is provided by a group that includes the NDSS graduate Patrick Carpenter for back then. Also a retired VIU music professor, and fully transparency, I had a bunch of his classes in the VIU music program. Great guy, great prof, great musician. So great to see all that connection in there on the event as well. I do want to mention as well as, of course, we want all the grads from 1968 NDSS there, but they're also saying it's open really to any NDSS grad as well. So for more information or to register, send them an email at ndss68@shaw.ca. Great stuff. Sorry, Doug, for throwing that out at you. All right, so now, one of the things I am happy about, though, is knowing that hearing about these reunions, it shows that school reunions are still popular. It's not just keeping up on social media and friends reconnecting with old friends. And I think back to my making friends when I was back in school. I had lots of friends. My 2 best friends, though, were named Jim and Art. Jim and Art. And in terms of making friends, there was a lot of science to not causing drama in school. You really want to know what all your classmates were all about. This meant you really had to be arithmeticulous in your social studies, trying to know again what they're about. You needed to know not just what geography they were from, what music or band they enjoyed, or whether they spoke French or English, but also needed to know their history. only then could we auto-mathematically consider ourselves friends. So to all the folks doing well in their studies and going to the reunions, we drink to you. All right, now let's get back to the music to finish off the show. Thanks to all of our guests and hardworking volunteers and staff in front of the cameras and behind the scenes. You can find more about this program on Facebook, facebook.com/The Show on Shaw, and check out previous episodes of this program on our YouTube, Shaw TV Nanaimo YouTube page as well. Do you have an event, cause, demonstration, sports tournament to let us know about? You want to be on the show? Well, do drop a line to our producer, Jocelyn Matwee, jocelyn.matwee@sjrb.ca. Also, this is a volunteer-run program as well, so if you'd like to volunteer, be part of our crew, drop a line to Jocelyn. We'd love to help you out and have you as part of the broadcast. But before we go, as mentioned, one more song now from our musical guest, Grant Richardson, a track aptly named Love Song. We love you for watching the show right here on Shaw TV.
Sitting here alone in my room now, wishing you were mine, but we never met, never seen you. We could have passed 1,000 times, so I won't grab my pen, yeah. Notebook on my bed, need to wait for you, eh? I'll write your love song when you get here. Right now I'm alone. I'll write your love song when you get here, baby. So come on. Start to see your eyes through the frosted glass, and I wonder who you are. I think I hear you laughing in the distance, and it echoes in my heart. So sit down by the stereo, wait to hear echoes. We're not there yet, so I'll write your love song when you get here. Right now I'm alone. I'll write your love song when you get here, baby. And everything is candy-coated and picture perfect when I forget that you and I, we haven't made it out. I haven't looked into your eyes, and so, oh, write your love song when you get here. Right now I'm staying alone. I'll write your love song